So, imagine the scenario. You've got your son, he comes up to you and says, Dad, like all the kids at school, they'll get a band together and I really want to learn to play bass guitar and be in this band. And a friend of mine's selling a bass and it's going to be really good. I can learn to play it and I'll keep at it and all that. Can you buy it for me, Dad? Can you buy my friend's bass for me? So he eventually twists your arm and you get the 50 quid or whatever together and he said, go on then son, go and get that bass. So he's got your 50 quid and he goes off to his mate's house and then he comes back later on with this. And it just needs a clean up, don't it? Just needs a bit of a clean up. Tain't had a good clean. Right, if only it was as simple as that. Yeah, it does need a bit of a clean up, but it also needs some other stuff done. It needs a good setup for a start. This guitar in particular is it's made in Japan. Can that focus? Can it? I'm not swearing. There we go, made in Japan. This is a Vox. Let me turn it around. It's a Vox White Shadow. And apparently these they weren't made for very long. There's 1984 or something. I think they made them for a couple of years and then they didn't bother. They cut them out of the range. So yeah, your 50 quid guitar needs just a bit of a clean up, don't it? But when you start to look closer, I mean, you've got an action that is crazy high. So that'd make it really hard to play. You can't really tell how high it is on here, it's hard to see, but that's far too high. So your dad thinks, oh yeah, well, these things at the back, look at these things here, they adjust, they do, I could take them down. So you'd screw them down, but look how much is left, look, much adjustment, there's not much at the bottom of there, and this string has got to come quite a way down to make it a comfortable action, which is the bottom of the string to the top of the fret. That's your string height, referred to as the action. So yeah, that string needs to go down more than that adjustment will let you. So what's the problem there then? But before you even get there, I mean, I've already checked these frets and they're all uneven. It needs a complete fret level for it to play perfect and to be able to get the action as low as what it should be. I mean, I'm not after anything ridiculously low. It's a bass guitar and I like the tone that you get from a slightly higher action. But it needs some work. So the frets all need levelling. Now, is your dad going to be able to do that for you? It's unlikely, so it'd have to go to a guitar technician or a luthier. Now, luthiers are going to be really expensive. A luthier would typically charge up to 100 quid for a fret level and crown and polish. It is a lot of work, and a luthier would typically charge between 80 and 100 quid for that. Some guitar techs do it, but they normally can't be bothered and they tell you to take them to a luthier. So already this 50 quid guitar off your mate that you're going to learn to play and you're going to be dedicated and do it every night and you're going to be in your mate's band and you're going to be famous. This guitar ain't gonna do you no favours. It's gonna be so hard to play and uncomfortable, especially down here. I mean, you have to press hard on the strings to make it work. to get any kind of sound out of it. Also, the machine heads are well worn. Look at that. So there's problems there. So already this 50 quid guitar isn't looking so attractive, is it? It doesn't just need a clean up. It needs some proper sorting out. I nearly swore there. It needs proper sorting out. It does play. Let me switch the amp on. Of course, you need to plug them in. Just get rid of the reverb. So it does play. You're going to be able to annoy your mum and dad with it. Oh no, that wasn't Black Sabbath, that was nothing like it in fact. So no copyright infringement there. That was just something that I come up with on my own, inspirationally. So yeah, it will play. So it does play, but when you're down the bottom here, it's not very good. It's hard to play because you're having to put that much pressure on. There's also stuff wrong with the electrics. They're scratchy and crackly, so they'll need addressing. The pickups both work, so you know that's alright. The quality of them is suspect. But yeah, the guitar that just needed a clean up perhaps needs, you know, 150 quid at Eludia to sort out. Or if you know a nice guitar technician, he might help you out. But it's not good for a learner to learn on a bass like that, because it's difficult and you'll soon get upset with it and disillusioned with it because it's hard to play and it hurts and you'll cut your hands, and so it perhaps wasn't worth the 50 quid unless you know somebody that can sort it out for you, or you've got another 100 quid or something to spend on it. So just have a look at it before you get it, make sure it's what you want and make sure it's playable, and whoever's going to be playing it is comfortable with it. Catch y'all later, baked tater.